I think the biggest thing is creating this role and a team. We now understand our baseline impact, environmental impact, but we've also got a lot of commitment from the leadership of the organization to really push us forward and have some ambition in this area. And I think that's really set us up for success. We've got a good foundation. We now understand where we're going to focus our projects and our efforts, what it's going to cost, and how quickly we can make progress. So the company ESG efforts align really nicely with the company goals. If you think about customer focus, many of our strategic customers are now asking for ESG data. We're part of their supply chain, so they care about the sort of performance we have in this area. If you think about financial strength, a lot of the things we're initially focusing on are at a factory level, like carbon emissions, water consumption, and hazardous waste. They are costly economically and costly environmentally. And so by us reducing water consumption or reducing our energy consumption or carbon emissions, we're saving cost, and that contributes directly to our financial strength. And then the third one around people, planet and community, that really is everything that ESG is about. So we've initially set 3 goals. One on carbon reduction, a 40% reduction by 2030. It's called an interim goal. I'd expect after that to set another goal. And then we've got aspirations around water reduction and hazardous waste to drive those down. I'd expect over the next several months, once we know a bit more detail and we've got a bit more analysis, to set a more explicit goal. But at this point in time, the aim is to reduce them both. There are 3 ways to think about the standards and frameworks. There are voluntary things that we do, there's customer responses, and then there's what are called mandatory frameworks. On the voluntary side, we do something called SASB, that's Sustainability Accounting Standards Board. We did it last year, we'll do it again this year. We obviously publish our sustainability report, we did it last year, we'll do it again next year. And then there are emergent mandatory disclosures or frameworks, one in the EU, and there's anticipated to be one in the US. In addition to those, we expect to disclose under a couple of customer-oriented standards, one called CDP, or the Carbon Disclosure Project, and another one called EcoVadis. So there's quite a lot coming there, and so we'd expect to build up our data and share more of our performance over the next several years. We do have an ESG strategy. Our focus right now is on our factories and getting as efficient as possible around some of those environmental metrics. Once we've done that, we'll get into what's called Scope 3, so that's the impact that we have in our supply chain, both environmentally and socially, up and downstream. And then the longer term aspiration is integrating sustainability into our strategies and having an impact on the long-term viability of our products with our customers. So what happens to the product once we take the raw materials, we create value of the manufacturing process, and it ends up with the customer? What happens at the end of that life? Bottom line, ESG and sustainability, it's about Moog keeping in harmony not only our financial performance, but our environmental impact and our social impact. It's to balance those things and to work in concert with our communities and the environment. And if we can do that, that's a long-term plan for Moog and something we can all be very proud of.